plan on moving forward with the McDonald's project?
Cancel 2020 Cover Beach Festival.
Today is the end of an era.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Tim? You want to go over some stuff?
Last meeting, I asked about getting some funding to replace the heating and air. You guys asked for a bid.
Yeah.
Need to contact Jason Kelly Heating. He submitted me a bid to replace the furnace for like. So it's 120,000 BTU for the furnace. The air conditioner is 13 SEER 5 ton. He will do it all for $81.88. And that's with us taking everything, the old out, and helping him install the new.
How's the duct work down there?
Duct works fine. You know, he said everything will match up.
Okay. What were you anticipating on that? Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, normally they run about 12,000 for.
I'd say he's barely covering his cost
Yeah.
with that, with a 5 ton and 120 BTU. He said normally he brings help, but if we will help him, he will eliminate that part.
Yeah.
He showed us where he wanted everything apart at.
Well,
I mean, he's pretty much locked the pricing, locked the material in because the pricing's going up 6%, he said. So he's locked it in. If he's not, either I gotta pull from my budget I have now and not do some maintenance on some of the town stuff, or we gotta figure out how to fund it because the AC don't work at all.
well, again, I think I brought up last meeting, my thoughts were eventually we're going to have another piece of property sell, that money to go into the general fund. You know, something we haven't budgeted for, but we could certainly use some proceeds from our old building we're selling here soon, I imagine. We have both appraisals on that. But there would be sufficient funds to do, I don't know how the rest of the board members feel about it, but it's one way to do it. Comment, board member?
I don't think we're gonna find it cheaper. Sounds like he's willing to help the town out.
Well, that's a heck of a price. You know, I mean, I know several people have done it in the last year, including myself, and they usually come in around $12,000 for
He's
HVAC.
helping us out because of the fire department in the town.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done work here. Like I said, I can use what budget money I have now, but just by towards the end of the year, I've got to get back in, or, you know, I can't do any maintenance on the trucks or the pumps and yearly requirements.
Right. I mean, Brandy, as far as the revenue, we received that revenue. I mean, I assume we bring that into the general fund.
Yeah.
And then we could do additional appropriation board approval, so we know, separate it out from our other regular expenses. That's my thoughts. Well, I would move we go with the Kelly Heating bid and get it started.
I'll second it.
Is that a second? All in favor?
All right.
I'll get hold of him.
Good. Is that all you got?
Yep, thank you guys.
Does that mean you think it's gonna get warm?
It's gonna warm up.
Eventually, yeah.
All right, Brandy, are you ready? Or?
Sure. Got claims for $638,420.83 for approval.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be the end of the month as well, and we have an extra week in there.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. One thing popped out. How often do you order those darn envelopes? Is that like once a year?
Twice a year.
Twice a year? Yeah, wow.
And those are for billing cards, so.
Yeah? So what would the park utility, $950. What do we got going on down there?
I'll have to look at the invoice on it.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, we probably keep heat on,
I
right?
mean, yeah, and I don't know if you start back at the park out there between the park and pool. I know the internet stays on down there as well, so we have to keep the phone for utility down there.
Yeah. No, that just jumped out at me.
So they won't do like a winter rate, like when you go to Florida and they charge you less for the phone?
They do
We
that?
have to keep, we have to keep it because, we have to keep it because of the internet for the camera,
Camera and all that.
so we have to leave it.
I didn't know that. Oh, what was it? There's so many things. Well, what was the deal on the wastewater bond payments? Was that just, it's not the total amount, but that, it's like an interest? What is that? It's on page 9, down there ways, about 5 lines up from the bottom.
She might have done bond, unless there was last month's bond payment, but I think it's 24,000 sound per month.
Okay,
Oh, she's
okay.
got April and March.
That's right, they
April
accrue
listed.
it, that's right, we make a monthly deposit, they collect that and then make the payment.
Yep, and it says March and April.
Yeah, okay, that's, I'm not thinking clearly. Well, what was it? What was there? Oh, yeah. We had a couple peerless bills on bottom of page 13. The appropriation said, it mentions the water tower contract. I wonder if they got posted to the wrong account.
Just posted payments for me today, so I'll check and see.
Yeah, I
There
have
should
to,
be, we have the contract money that's listed.
yeah, we
It's
have the
the same
contract
line.
money listed, but this wouldn't, the peerless water well stuff wouldn't go, it wouldn't be, that wouldn't go in there, I guess, is my point. So yeah, you might wanna look at that, make sure it's in the right spot. That's all I had. Anybody else?
I'm with you.
So the peerless contracts are coming out of the water depreciation fund, correct?
Well, we did that, yeah, that's what the plan was. Didn't we discuss that last meeting?
I thought we did, I just
I thought
being sure that it ends up,
that's what we wanted to do, because it was an unbudgeted expense, kind of large. Yeah, we've got $130,000 appropriated for depreciation. So you're right, Steve, that's where we should probably put that. Now, I just want to make sure, now, these claims won't be posted in the appropriation report until we approve them, right? Yeah. Because things look really good right now. Okay, so yeah, that's probably, yeah, you want to put that there and see what you did put that into. Other than that,
Got a motion,
I'll move to approve.
for a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes from March 17th.
I thought they looked okay.
I make a motion.
Everybody read them?
Yeah,
Was that a motion?
I'll move. Oh, you moved, she moved, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Adjustments for $6,147.44.
What were those, Brandy?
I mean, a lot of them are just gonna be water leaks, as far as toilets. There was a bigger leak at a home that was sold that, had a leak on there. There's some penalty adjustments in here. Swisher fixed the house under construction. There was a leak there before it was, purchased. I mean, you're welcome to look through them, but they're all legitimate, with adjustments with receipts.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I did print off the change order from NDOT that you all should have had in your email as well last week. There's no cost difference, so it's not a variance in cost, but it is a document that needs signed and sent back to Structure Point to finish up the South Market project. And there's, well, I'm sure you saw it in your email, but there's details of the total original cost, and like I said, it came up under budget, so there's no, even though there's a modified contract amount, there's no cost changes within that change order. It's kind of like the last one that you had to do.
Were you good at, were you happy with the walkthrough?
Yeah, they took care of things and, yeah, we're not, the sidewalk repair was not that whole
Right,
chamber,
right.
so that's,
Yep. I mean, that,
Yeah, they've already started the repairs that they said they were gonna come back and make.
okay.
And electric, will be here tomorrow to look at the street light. That's gonna be the only, problem we have, because he hasn't ordered it yet, and it's, the guy said he thought he could hurry it up, but he's looking at 6 weeks.
Okay.
So there's nobody got on it and ordered it. So, but that's gonna be the only thing.
Okay. Well,
I'll make the motion.
Second.
all in favor?
That's all I have.
Just my.
Yeah, this is your signatures on it. It'll just go back to John with Structure Point. Thank you. And that's all I have for the moment.
Okay. Ready, Bill?
I am. We had 15 citations last month, 24 felonies, 9 misdemeanors, 10 infractions, 1 ordinance, 39 warnings, 1 impound, and 5 motor vehicle accidents.
Were the felonies, some of them were like the same person, multiple charges?
One of them had 19 felonies. We served a search warrant.
Well,
Good job on that.
any other questions? All right, thank you. Good?
I got a few things, so bear with me here.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to thank my guys, Brett Britton, Jared Lindley, Mike Pettis, Tim Honaker, and Tony Keller. That was the crew I had in Saturday on the underground burnup. Did a fantastic job. Started about 2:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and we threw the fuse in to light the place back up at 9:30 that night.
Can you explain a little bit what happened?
Just it's the power line, the primary that burned up has been there since '72.
Wow, and that's, it's on there, it's a ground.
Yeah, it's underground, and it burned up right at a T, which they don't even use anymore. And the line is so old that inside it has a white insulation, and if you move it now, it cracks. So even if we'd have spent 3 hours putting a new T in, chances are it would have blown up either right when we threw the fuse in or within just a
So
few.
where'd you get this equipment to replace?
We had all the wire
We had,
and all the cabinet we put in. All we had to do was get B&T in. We had them run, well, as I was going to tell you here, almost 400 feet of conduit from 3 different transformers. And then, along with the 5 guys and I, we pulled in the new primary by hand, put 6 new elbows on it, and some other hardware. And we put, instead of that T, we eliminated and put a cabinet in, which got 3 elbows in it, so now we can isolate it a little more, and plus it's much better.
so we had the transformer.
We didn't have to place no transformers.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, okay,
Just the fuse that blew when the underground burned up.
okay.
So we had everything to do it other than we fit the board in. So the wire and everything was sitting there. So we were all good at that and everything. So
Well, long day.
long day, long wet day. So and then a special thanks to Danielle Britton, Brett's wife. She had chili for us at lunch, and then again at about 6:30 she called us and she had pizzas, brought some pizza, so we took a small break and had pizza. So I do appreciate her and how much that really helped our guys out and have somebody that made sure they were we were being fed, so I do appreciate that. And B&T for the fast response and getting over here as quick as they did and everything, so it's all back online. And then to move on from that, on Wednesday, 3/26, we had a semi come through town. No, wait a minute, I'm wrong on that one. On 3/29, a semi coming through town at the corner of Ohio and Erie Street, made that corner turning south onto Erie and took out the utility pole there. So my guys were in on that. The police did, with the help of their cameras out back, and Officer Walters, I think, jumped on it right away, and they were able to, I believe the county got him pulled over south of town.
He left?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And got him over when we got the information and everything, so insurance will be paying for that. And that was the replacement and all the costs on that was $4,625.70, but insurance will be taking care of that. And then the last storm on that Wednesday, we had a broken pole on Strawberry and Bloomingdale Road and a B-phase line down that we took care of. Harris Street had a tree fall on the neutral and secondary and took it down. Our guys were able to get over there and get that all back up and blow and fuse at Beechwood Park, but that was another all-nighter. They worked all through the night into the next day to get all that back on. The new auto lift is being installed today. They'll finish that up tomorrow. Milling started today on Anderson Street. They said they got like 3 or 4 days of that before they can actually come back in and start blacktop.
They're gonna mill everything before they start.
Yeah, he said he thought the plan was to get everything milled and out of the way.
Yeah, well, looks like they finished up Anderson today.
And they're gonna head over Stark Street tomorrow and try to work in between school. So it
That's a
doesn't.
good idea.
Yeah, so, and then, let's see here. And just an update from the last board meeting, the hydrant on Parke Street that was hit has finally been repaired, got all the parts. It's up and going. New water meter installed at the Sheriff's Department, and the ADS valve that we needed at the water plant, it's all installed, and well floor is up and running. So, pole structure for 36 and Virginia Street has been built, and a new pole put in at 36 for the new generators. And hopefully this week we can get the pad put in. Just waiting on the gentleman that's going to be helping us on that. And then also Saturday, real quick, before I forget to tell you, I did pass, but out on Virginia Street, the line you called in, the manhole you called in, that was an air relief valve.
Yeah, can you explain what that does?
Yeah, so when they're on the sewer mains, that's which comes from a pump.
Yeah.
That's from Virginia Street. So when they shut off, the water works its way back to the lift station. When it turns on, that line's full of air. So if you don't get that air out of there, at a certain point, it'll blow stuff apart and all that. So those are air relief valves. So the air pops out of them and the water gets there, it shuts the valve. The top part of that one blew off. So it was just pulling out of that. So we was able to get a shut-off valve on it Saturday and get it shut off, but we have to replace that. Yeah. And John Boyer said usually when one breaks, it's not long, and there's like 3 or 4 in that line.
Yeah.
So I've got 3, will be here Wednesday.
What kind of money they cost?
They're $1,098 a piece.
That's terrible.
So I went ahead and got 3 of them coming, because we're going to replace one, and if it happens again, we'll have a couple on standby.
Good idea.
And everything. So other than that, that's all I got for that. And then I got some purchases I sent out to you guys, emails, so you guys could look at them with the amount of money. They're rather high expense, so give you time to look at it. The first one is just day-to-day equipment, stuff they need, nuts, bolts, tape, cutouts, and different things like that at a total of $13,050 and $62. That's your day-to-day operations stuff.
Who was that with?
Electric.
Yeah, Brown's that?
Yeah, Brownstown.
Yeah, that's the regular supply stuff, yeah.
Clamps and all that, bolts, and just stuff they gotta have for day-to-day. And with the storms, we've been through quite a bit of it.
That's $13,050.
Yep.
Want to talk about the other one?
Yeah. So if you guys all, you want to approve this one first, or you're not?
Okay, I'll
So do we have a standard, sort of standing supply agreement with them, or do we you know, I mean, 10,000 is a lot. I know it's a lot to us, it's not a lot for a lot of utilities and
Yeah.
and for them, I mean, you know, so, you know, is it just sort of a standard account that we deal with?
Yeah.
Or do we bid these out to where we have?
No, we've
price from
been-
2 or 3 people, how do, what's the process? to-
We usually just,
to be
we've been
sure we
going
get
through
value?
Brownstown for,
You know, we've used them
yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how many companies around in Indiana. I know that's what REMC uses. They've used them for years, and I'm sure if there was a better company out there, they would, we can look.
Yeah.
We can look
It's
into
not
it.
all cost, we have to have service and
Yeah,
consistent supply, but it's
Yeah.
just, do we periodically, comparatively price to be sure?
no, I don't think electric would be just in Brownstown for as long as I can remember. So,
Well, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Also.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you. The other one I have is the big one. I think it's, what did I say that was?
44,000, so?
Yeah, I've got it marked here. Yeah, 44,230. And them are transformers. These are pole transformers, hanging ones. 3 of them should be, we're hoping to be covered under storm damage. We lost 3 at the high school when the
Yeah.
storm came through on that pole. So we hopefully get some money back on 3 of them. But yeah, these are just to have, to replace them and to have a couple backups. So,
Well, it's good to have them when you need them.
yep.
Are they our sole supplier, like does Brownstown supply?
No,
companies too?
no, there's certain things each of them do, but no, Brownstown don't. If we could get them through Brownstown, but they're gonna go through Sunbelt or whatever and get them, and then they'll just mark them up, so that's why we
So-
just do our own.
What's the lead time on these? Has it gotten,
I did not ask him, he didn't say.
well, it is what it is. I know there for a while, it was a very long lead time, a lot of things for me. In light of recent storms in all across the country, plus potential trade issues, you know, it's good to have some on the ground. I know we always keep several in supply. Well, I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The other thing I got is here is Seal Master. This is our crack seal we do every year. We skipped it over last year with all the construction going on and stuff. I did get a quote this year for us to do a skid, and it comes with their machine to apply it at $3,037.50 to do a skid.
I think it's good enough. I noticed a
We
lot
used to
of-
do a skid now and a skid later.
I noticed Howard Avenue's finally
Yeah.
showing some cracks.
Yeah. So, but I like to do like one in the spring and one in the fall.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
What fund are we gonna get that out of? I mean, motor
Well,
vehicle
it should be under
highway,
motor vehicles.
looks like pretty strong, and then supplies,
Motor vehicle,
there's supplies, there's 10,000 in that.
I think it's, I mean, if you go around and look at these roads since we started the new ones, there's not a lot of potholes coming in yet, because you get them crack sealed, keep the water out of them, so I think it's been worth the money.
Well, it needs to be done, I'm just being sure we got something.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Cover it, and
Yeah, I agree, it needs to be done, I'm just kind of giving you, I noticed on some of them roads that they're holding up pretty good.
so is there a motion to take it out of supplies?
I made a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Okay, I got 2 more things, guys, and then we're done. So this one here is on Anderson Street. This for,
Did Milestone come in today?
do what?
Okay. I was asking if Milestone showed.
Yes, they did. So this is on Anderson Street. This is landscaping in front of Barb Lowe's house. That was agreed a while back, and I got Justin Montgomery to come in, and he said he could do it for $850. If you want to pass this around, that's what he plans on doing. she didn't want to look at the concrete curb.
And you did get her approval.
I took the picture over and she said she was fine with it.
Good.
That seems to be the same.
Well,
No, we paid for the parking lot. No, we paid for the parking lot.
no, no, no. Calm down, Kevin. You wanna see it, Dave?
I've already saw it.
You've already seen it.
I knew I'd get something.
Well,
Somebody.
what do you folks think?
So we probably need another 2 quotes. This seems high for the area.
I'd like to see at least one more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you have it.
Okay, I can do that. Last thing I got here is Dave reached out to me a couple weeks ago and asked me to look into the bump outs on South Market Street here.
Over here by the square.
Yeah, on there. You want me to look into what the cost of removing the grass in 4, if not all of them, and pouring concrete ourselves in there? The 4 in the center, if we would do that, we're looking at a total, well, we would do remove the grass, pour 4 inches of concrete, and purchase a table with an umbrella on them 4 areas, and at the cost of $12,125. If we do all of them, all the bump outs through there, we're looking at $15,444. Dave has secured a chunk of money to do this project, so that's what I
This will not
researched.
be funded by the public. So, I mean, this is all donation. So, and Doug and I talked about this because it's hard to mow up there with, cars up there blowing grass and all that stuff. I know some of us like grass. I'm not knocking on the grass, but I think it'll just be a little tougher to take care of it. But I mean, it's.
So what's all included in there?
In the $12,000 quote, that's 4 tables.
4 chairs per table or what?
Here is,
They're more, the ones that Doug showed me, they're more,
Okay.
that's similar to one I believe I showed you.
Okay, so the chairs are attached to the table.
The chairs are already attached. We looked at some tables that are not, and they're like twice the price of this. Plus, the fear was somebody taking the chairs.
Well, in the wind, and you never know, you don't want projectiles.
The umbrella, you can get an umbrella with it, and then a 75-pound base, which would hold the umbrella there. I got it all figured up. If we just do the 4 bump outs in the center, like I said, it's $12,125. And to do all the bump outs through there and just put 4, I didn't know if we'd have to. I just stayed with the 4 tables.
Well, I think there in the center, it creates a nice spot for lunch.
Yep.
Well, at one time, we talked about actually making that pedestrian friendly,
Yeah.
but one of the town maintenance folks at the time spoke against that, about how we never want anybody in there, blah, 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 and so it was tabled and nothing happened in initial design. So it's very reasonable to use this. I guess my only thing, kind of not knowing anything more about it, would just simply be, since it is a highly visible part of downtown, you can do just the flat concrete, and that's functional, but you can also do some of the things with the stamped concrete and all, and if there's a place that's worth a little extra to make it look better, that's the place. I also like the idea that it's not town funds. I mean, I hate to do, even though there sounds like there's a need, it would concern me to do that when we've got a lot of issues at the fire department that we need to fund too, to keep from having a tragedy. So there's a lot of balls in the air, so I'm not anti. I'm not sure I'm ready to vote today on it, not that I'm necessarily anti, but
But you said the money's being provided, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it won't be.
Won't be on our-
public
on our-
funding.
Yeah, it's
private funding.
donation.
Well, Steve, what else would you like to know, I guess?
well, I don't know, I mean.
I understand the
I just
stamp.
like to go look at it
Yeah.
and see, I'm not familiar exactly.
I mean, we can go back and look at stamped concrete,
Yeah,
like
it's-
we did at the clock.
Yeah, and I mean, is there adequate pedestrian protection with what we're doing? I mean, it doesn't have to be big barriers, just, it shouldn't be a high-risk thing anyway. They ought to be moving slow through there.
Yeah.
Just being sure that we've thought about those things before we commit the
Set
funds.
people out there in chairs, yeah.
Commit the funds and put people out there. I mean,
I have talked to several business owners over there, they are all for it. Even some of the folks in the courthouse are for it, so, I'm just,
again, it was on the table when it was initially designed.
Years
so I mean-
ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not anti, I just want to be sure we do it as best we can.
that's just something that, like I said, I had on my mind and just wanted to.
I think it's,
Well, it sounds good, but yeah, let's take a look at it, maybe, yeah, I like the sand concrete idea, it's a little less, industrial, but, yeah, it'd be nice.
That will have to be done, obviously, by somebody else.
Right, as opposed to us doing concrete, so that costs a little more.
We can get concrete done, but I don't think you want us stamping.
Okay,
We can try, but
uh-huh. Okay, well, let's get a
I'll
little
look into
information.
this stamp, just something similar to what's up by the clock. That turned out great, I think. so.
It does, it's good.
Okay, I believe that's all I got for you guys.
You can put it at the very bottom of your list, but maybe when, if you get some spare time, take the snowflake flags down.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of banners, Doug and I were talking the other day about light poles falling.
Yeah, we did have another one of them fall in front of EKP Tire last
I'm
time.
not surprised. I'm amazed, when the wind comes through, how much those little banners shape the poles. It's really amazing how much stress it puts on. But that gets back to 41 and the issue of putting things on those poles. Given we know there's probably another 18
Oh, yeah,
that we expect to go anytime.
yes.
So
I think that's the beginning one.
what do we do this summer about putting stuff on those poles? I mean, we already have banners
The
on.
banners are on there, but I said something to Parker, and I don't think putting the American flag's a good idea. That's a 3x5 flag flapping in the wind, and we've already got rotten poles that are falling over without them. I think it's just gonna be,
It's a concern. I was amazed walking back from John Deere the other day how thin that steel is on those poles. It's just wow.
they're ate up big time.
Yeah.
well, we've got
I
to
thought of not putting flags.
Well, I know.
I agree, I mean, it's.
Yeah, they're nice to have.
Doug, didn't you do the banners? though?
Yeah, we got the flag banners we can put up.
That was the conversation of replacing the hanging flags with the banners.
Yes, that's kind of, because those flags, it's a lot of work. I mean, they look nice, but as you guys all know, when you drive down there, as soon as you get them up, you get them twisted around there. They catch on the outlet and they're ripped, and then they're calling, well, that one's ripped. Well,
What, do we have flag banners? Yep. We do?
Yep.
When did we get those?
A couple months ago or so, probably. But yes, we can put them up. But I was just thinking to the banner and the American flag hanging, that's a lot for rotten poles to.
Did you get the dual, banner mounts for the parking lot
Tool.
on each side of the poles?
Did we get them? No.
Okay. Might look into that too. I mean, we talked about that, so.
Okay.
One other thing, this would be a park related thing Doug and I and Jimmy Beach talked about. Also, I did talk to Luke about it at one time, about putting another bathroom in, renovating the present bathroom and another one
At the park.
at the park. Probably on the north side of the pool, somewhere in there, close to the veterans.
Yeah,
memorial.
okay.
Be a little closer to the pavilion and the memorial. I think, again, we can get some volunteer labor on that. we're obviously gonna have to pay for the, material, but, you know, we can still look into that too, but it's something we might want to try to budget for next year. Just put it on your minds, so. And we can put, I mean, obviously, we'll put our own water and sewer in, but,
Yeah.
you know, we'll do, you know, Jim, Doug can both frame it, and, you know,
We both, Jim and I both agreed to put Jim in charge of it, so one guy's in charge of it. We've agreed to go down and frame it and do all we can do to,
Well, as long as park board's on board,
yeah.
you will. Yeah. WCC, you know, bathroom.
it would probably be, yeah, I mean, just like what we've got down there. What do we do, April to November, end of October?
Yeah, we try to go as long as we can, and then we always open April 1st, or right around April 1st, and then,
But, I mean, the present bathroom's so far away from the pavilion, and you get some older folks in there, it's pretty tough
So
to
we'll have to
hike over there.
probably do handicap access, we'll have to do that. Yeah.
So, it's something to put on our radar.
and the part where, when's your next meeting?
Fourth Thursday, third Thursday?
Third Thursday.
This is third.
Probably need to reach out to some of them in the next couple of days and see if you guys would like to take a tour of the pool. There's a couple areas in the well that are,
I heard something about
that
that.
I don't know that it's actually gonna be able to be patched just by laying concrete over it, so you guys might wanna come down and take a look at it. I showed Chris the picture today that we'll go much further with it.
I'm sure we can get a little bit of private funding for that too.
So,
I'm sure people,
The park board's talked about kind of trying to do a fundraiser, because at some point, the whole thing needs done.
yeah, so,
And you might, if you could maybe get an updated quote for the next park board meeting, if you can.
for,
For like, just getting it fixed, just so we have ballpark.
or actually when you reach out and
You know, kind of a combination of pool funds, probably ask the foundation and just basically do some fundraisers. Because we even floated the idea of maybe, if it's ever remotely feasible, replacing a baby pool with a splash pad. A baby pool's just, it's,
I mean, you've got that bit of money from the foundation from the last meeting.
yeah.
Can you use I know several times it's gonna come off the donation money from years ago, but it's still gonna be pool related.
I don't know where that ever ended up. Does the foundation still have it? Or did they?
No, I mean, we have it allotted in our fund report, and I thought there was 30,000.
I thought it was like 32. That's what, I mean,
That would be something to consider.
I know John Bonanno kind of spearheaded that, and
I don't know all the details,
yeah,
like,
I
from the,
plan to kind of reach out to him.
yeah. We've got it on our fund
Okay,
report as we have that
Okay.
money. But if the pool is gonna need an overhaul, I would think that would be justifiable to
Yeah, absolutely.
utilize. So that'd be next Thursday if it's the third Thursday. It's doing third Thursday.
Next one, yeah, I think.
We just had it 2 weeks ago.
Time goes by fast. Yeah, 17th.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I thought you were doing the third Thursday of each month.
Yep.
Is it the 7th?
anything else?
The 7th right now.
Don't we meet on the 3rd Thursday? Police commission?
17, 5:30.
So I think we're the 4th Thursday for the park board.
No, we're the 3rd. We didn't change.
That's good.
Well, you two figure it out. Doug, what's this UMAC programming actuator thing? What's that all about?
that's the actuator valves.
Okay.
So I put it on the agenda because I spoke with Mike previously and we kind of both talked to the same gentleman, so if you wanna just kind of update him on.
Yeah, I finally heard back from the programmer today from Toric. He is telling me that they should be able to do the programming either Wednesday or Thursday from the office, or he can come down there Friday. Now, I know when they come and put the transducer in out here at the North Tower, they said that would be something they would have to actually be on site to program, so, but we'll see. We'll see if they show up this week. If they don't show up Friday, I'll get a hold of them again. So, but hopefully they'll get here and get that done, that way we'll get this project closed out.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
Anything
between
else?
John and Mike have both made numerous phone calls to BL Anderson and Toric. And I just finally called him and told him I need to close this paperwork out.
Yeah.
So Mike is working with them now to get them there, finalize it and get it done. We need to close out that Okra project.
No, I don't have anything else to say.
Nothing. Bruce, you got anything?
I do.
I knew it.
Actually, it was July, at the board meeting, last July, I discussed the UV situation. He's 20 years old, he needs to be refurbished or replaced. I reached out to UVon, and a month later we had a quote. Trojan, on the other hand, I know Brandy has jumped through hoops with paperwork, and I have jumped through hoops with Trojan. We still, even after paying the $1,500 for them to come out and do an assessment, we still didn't get a quote for the refurbish. We didn't get a quote for new replacement. We're not getting anywhere with them.
Are those the ones out of Canada?
Yes. They actually just moved the company to the United States, but anyway, we're getting nowhere with them. The UVon quote, I really like the way the UVon company's gonna do this. They're gonna refurb, we're gonna use the same lamp housings, they're gonna totally rewire everything. Everything that's there now, if it floods, it gets submerged in water. So they're taking all that out, and they're gonna put it in a cabinet. So the quote, and I just talked to UVon last week, and they said the quote's still good. It was $97,700. The town would have to provide electric hookup to the new cabinet, and have to provide some kind of a shelter, like a carport to put over it. I remember we talked about that. I don't know if the town guys would want to build something, or if we have somebody to bring them in, but that was the additional expense on top of the $97,700. I know it's been a while. I know you guys all had copies of that. I emailed everybody that information then. I started this early last year, hoping that we could get something done during because we don't disinfect from October to April. I was really hoping to get something done and get it repaired, because it's not in very good shape.
So that's the time to do it?
Well, he's told me we could do it, he could do it online, one at a time, and not have to take the system down, so. He's working on a big project now, and he said after he got done with that project, he could come work on this one, so.
Since we can't get comparative quotes, do you have an idea, is that a reasonable
Well, I think
quote
it's
or
very
ballpark? I
reasonable.
mean, because again, it's the only thing we got.
We tried really hard to get a quote from Trojan. I know, it would have been way more than $97,000.
So will they give us the money back since they never showed up?
Doubt that. Good luck with that. Just getting a hold of them
Yeah.
is tough.
Well, I can't, off the top of my head, don't know where we're at in Cedar Park as far as expenses. Underwater, yeah. That's one thing we need to look into. That's a big chunk of money at one time.
Has IDEM dinged us on that yet?
Not yet, but they'll probably get there before summer's over.
Wastewater depreciation's $190,000.
We do have depreciation there for 190, so that's someplace we could go to, so. What do you folks think? We've been talking about it for a year, almost.
Sounds like it's about time.
Well,
Pull the trigger.
pull the trigger and hope we don't have another major issue. We got the blower,
We
our
should
third
be in
blower.
pretty good shape now. I mean, that was the last big thing, really.
Well, we got 190 in the depreciation fund, and the improvement fund's got, our fund report only has 21,000. I mean, on paper, we're appropriated enough. I'm just looking to see if we got it in the bank.
Material and supplies 75, you're at 62. You know, we've got that 50,000 blower that we need to have post, it hasn't posted yet.
That was just a quote that you approved for the ordering, but that lead
Yeah.
time was
Yeah.
26 weeks.
Yeah,
That could go into next year.
It'll be 6 months before we see that.
But we got money appropriated, I'm just saying if we got money in the bank.
Oh, yeah, and fund report,
Yeah, and so
yeah, we should be
I
fine.
mean, we need, it sounds like we need to do it. It's about as good as we're gonna get on floater things, but
You know,
it's just,
yeah, we're not too bad shape in
I
wastewater.
guess we got operating funds, got 97,160, so,
Well, I'd make a motion that we proceed with what's name?
UBL.
UBI.
They're a really good company to do business with. I work with them a lot. And if we need them for anything, they're there in
Where are they out of?
Ohio.
Ohio?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that all you have, Bruce? Let's move on to our own business here. The increase of the NSF.
Yeah, I just kind of put that on there for something to maybe consider or start talking about. It's been $40 for quite some time. We usually leave it the way it is when we renew our rates. But we're getting an excessive amount of return checks. Karen's spending a lot of time processing letters, working with the bank on those returns. People now have the option to also use the website to make a payment with their checking account, and we're getting several returns from those as well, especially on disconnect day. So it's just something I would like for you to maybe consider or think about, that it unfortunately might be time to raise that NSF return fee. So, nothing that I'm really asking you to do right away, but take it into consideration, the time that we're spending and as many returns that we're receiving. I think we're averaging 3 to 4 every month. And like I said, a lot of it's happening on the disconnect day. So just that's just for conversation, or if somebody wants to bring that up at a later time, if they've had the time to consider what that fee might look like. And then as far as the other, I just put your workshop on the 24th. I didn't know, Steve, if I printed off the paper for everyone, but if you wanted to go over anything, or.
well, just, I mean, we listened to whoever showed up, predominantly town folks, one or two private citizens, and just various concerns, and so we've submitted them to legal counsel for time to review, and I know it helped with everybody bringing it up and just trying to identify what issues were, and Jim and Cody went back and after the fact and looked at the ordinance book and found some things that took care of it, or, covered them, and now we just need further direction. So it's a process, but it's a starting place. So appreciate everybody that came.
I have it, I'm in the process of going through it, I emailed with Doc today.
I wouldn't mind approving these, just to make it an official.
What's that, the workshop?
Our works.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All in favor?
The other thing came up, I've heard in the past, it's been a few years, but someone asked me the other day how many dogs a person can have in town. And I believe the answer is 5. Is that correct?
I don't believe we have a limit. I'd have to read the ordinance, I don't off the top of my head.
Well, it's amazingly, some people have in excess of that.
Yeah.
This particular person has a problem getting any sleep. So yeah, it was brought up, so something to kind of look into. So where are we at on this? Nick, you're looking into some of our ordinances?
Yeah, I received the list, I think Doc had a different email for me, but I got it today, so I'll be in the process of going through the list.
Okay.
I did just briefly look through it, and I think some of the stuff is addressed in our ordinances, but I'll have more information for you on that in the future.
Okay.
Some of our ordinances are kind of as in the law, you kind of get statutes, and ordinance is a type of statute where it's a catch-all that addresses multiple issues. And some of our ordinances are that form of an ordinance where it addresses multiple things, and so it may not on its face look like it addresses the certain thing that you asked about, but it would in certain instances. So I'll have more information for you on that in the future, though.
Sounds like something a lawyer might have wrote.
Yeah, well, the law is one of those things where you can't ever be specific enough to address every single issue.
Right.
And so the opposite of that is being general enough where it addresses multiple issues. So, for instance, like in a criminal court, criminal recklessness or disorderly conduct are two catch-alls. So, Chris will probably know what I mean by that. Like if they're being loud in public or they're fighting and they're doing different things, but maybe they didn't hit each other or threaten each other, it catches that though because they still caused a disturbance. And so that's kind of how ordinances can be sometimes too. Like our nuisance ordinance that you hear about a lot, it catches a lot of different things that people do with their properties and regulates them. And so that's the one that we most commonly use as the nuisance ordinance that we have.
Can I ask a question about that? When you say the number of dogs people have, are you referencing dogs that are primarily kept and live outside, or
I don't know. It was just, the question was asked to me, and I brought it to the board. That's all I can tell you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about it until this individual brought it up.
I got a complaint about a house that had 8 dogs inside.
Wow.
Well, and so, like, for instance, on that, if the complaint's not necessarily about the amount of dogs, it's about the noise that's caused.
I think it was noise related, yes.
We have a barking dog ordinance.
Okay. Well, there you go. We have an ordinance to address the noise, but that's what this individual was upset about. They work shift work and
Ask them what that is, though. It's gotta go on for quite a while to be a nuisance, correct?
Well, you can't, if you call in and say, my neighbor's dog's barking, and it's barked one time, obviously that's not.
But is there a certain amount of minutes you have to be able to sit there with so many decibels, whatever? It's a very, very high bar.
It's going to be more about when they're barking, because during the course of the day, noise isn't necessarily something that is going to be something that you take action on. But if it's like 3 in the morning and you got 50 dogs barking, that's a little different.
Okay.
But a lot of things in the law, as your law enforcement people tell you, they have a lot of discretion on facts, because like I was saying before, you can't be specific enough to address every situation for law enforcement, so they have to use their training and experience and knowledge to address certain situations also. I guess to somewhat answer the question.
Okay.
But, you know, if there's 50 dogs barking at 3 in the morning, that's certainly different than 1 dog barking at 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
Old business? Can I bring up something? Can I bring up some old business?
Of course you can.
Well, thanks. Yeah, well, a couple weeks ago, golly, it was it 17th, I think. We had a question about the 40 versus 80 square foot sign at CVS. Where are we at on that? Did we take any action? I went by there. They were talking about just replacing the one they have.
The larger one.
As long as it meets the same specifics, they're not changing anything, and if they're not changing anything in the design or the format or things, they don't have to do anything.
No, I think you're going back with the same size of sign as well.
Right.
Oh, I thought they wanted to make it bigger.
What I was told was it's going to be the exact same dimensions and style and things. It was just going to be updated.
If that's the case,
It's just the sign's bigger than the ordinance allows already.
yeah, but that was the issue. It's not compliant with current ordinance, but we allowed that sign.
Right, it is grandfathered.
And it's kind of small actually. It's a lot of signs you see out in the highway, and I have no problem with it. Do we need to make a motion on it?
No, as far as they're just putting back in what was already there, so.
Well, the board does not need to do anything.
When they built that, they would have provided specs and been approved. I mean, I don't have those, but I assume they exist somewhere. So they're just going right back into what they'd already done.
So they're good to go. We don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Because at some point, the town would have approved that.
All right. Okay.
Do they know that? Did you just bring it up as information?
I didn't bring it up, Cody brought that up.
I responded to somebody in the email about that. I don't know if that
Okay.
was bringing to your Cody or whoever it was. But
Okay.
if they're deviating from what they had previously, then they need approval.
Well, that's not my understanding.
So.
Another old business. Well, our pay, holiday pay thing, are we doing that in April? Not holiday, what was it, guys? What was that called?
Holiday.
Holiday.
I thought you already had voted to, there was a specific date you approved. I
Oh,
can't
okay, so
remember.
that's done.
Might have been April
I-
1st is what sticks in my
I think
head.
yours is supposed to be presented, do you have that information to present for this meeting? It's the first meeting in April and then paid out the
Following pay
following
period.
pay period.
Well, the
It
information.
changed at the last meeting that we discussed it, that it was gonna be paid out, so no, I don't have that information.
Well, I've got
because
I've got the information.
The totals just need to be documented and approved in a meeting.
Yes, $12,613.82.
That they signed, right?
Is that what you and Karen come up with?
Me and Karen agreed on an amount. I don't know if that's the paper, did Karen send that to you? or-
Yes.
Yes, it says Karen and I've gone over the buyout hours that are being presented March 17th, police holiday buyout. It's broken out by the officers and the total and all that. Well, I had, under my old business, I thought I should address it.
So do we need to make a motion?
Why, I
Yeah,
guess
I
so.
believe the ordinance stated the first meeting in April was when it was to be asked for approval with the documented numbers, and then the payout will be the following pay period.
That's my recollection.
Okay,
This is
so
what the ordinance says.
I have due April on here, so that's my,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody else?
Did you wanna look at it first or no? Make sure you're okay with it?
Take a look, that's what you guys sent me.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure you guys are.
Sure.
I mean, do you need to verify the number?
No, I think that's good.
Well, yeah, that's what was presented when it was brought up, whenever that was.
Aye.
Aye, we got an aye. Okay.
Okay, is that all you got?
Under old business, yes, I'll stop.
You have something under new business that we can get started or?
Well,
I mean,
well, I think that one, it's already on here, that one
okay.
item.
All right. Well, I'll let Brandy touch on the Ace Hardware in White
Yeah, I just wanted to put that on there to kind of throw that out. Mike had contacted me, he wanted to donate one of those public bike repair stations, and I'd sent an email to you guys, letting you know that there was one at Rockville Lake, I'm sorry. And they kind of put a little cover over the top of it, but they made it look real nice. I also included the park board on that email for them to kind of discuss at the next meeting, so if you guys wanna maybe take action upon that, and then just let them follow up with the council in the next meeting, that Mike would like to donate that to be placed at the depot.
All right.
Anybody have an issue with it?
No, very nice.
Was there, that was a motion, wasn't it?
I can't, park board meetings next week.
Okay.
You're probably gonna let the park board decide what they want to do, right?
Good. All right, we'll move on. We need appointments, one for the alcohol board and one for the regional sewer, Park Regional Sewer. I'm gonna nominate Park Swain for the regional sewer.
I'll
He's
second
been
that.
working on it for last
2.5 years been involved in that group, what a group. Yeah, we finally did get the board formed, the regional sewer district, it's quite the ordeal. Couple public meetings, both by the county, the towns involved, and also an IDM public hearing. So yeah, it's been approved, we just need to make the appointments, there'll be one from Bloomingdale, one from Marshall, there'll be one from the county, one landowner, I believe, from the area, and then one from the town. That's how that board's made up. Yeah.
Marshall's is Kevin Stewart, Helderman's the county council, and I don't remember who else I've heard so far.
Jerry from
Jerry, I would assume.
Bloomingdale, yeah.
And I didn't hear who the commissioners appointed, so I'm not sure if they have yet.
I've heard, but I can't remember. Getting old.
Did they submit a form? Did I see a form on that for signatures, or would minutes just be sufficient?
I think, Cindy said just do a public hearing, make an appointment.
Okay.
So anyway.
Anyways, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And we got opening on the alcohol board.
I'll nominate Kevin.
Yeah, did you want to nominate him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Does Kevin want it? Okay.
I already have the paperwork.
We gotta get this point before he speaks.
Don't say that.
We already talked about it.
I think we just told him what it is.
Okay, National Honor Society is holding a 5K on April 12th from 9 to 11, no road closures requested, so.
They just, I think that, if I remember right, I believe they might have asked for road closure last year. Cheryl went ahead and sent me an email. She just wanted to make sure the board was aware that this was going on, but they will not need any street closures. And she did send me a little map, but I really can't read it. I think it's not on 36, obviously, but around High Street and more the southern part of the square. I think is going to be their main route. But I do have that in an email if anybody's curious as to.
On a Saturday, I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll be using a starting pistol, then fire anything, so they won't be violating any ordinances to start that.
Okay, well,
So,
that's good.
Yeah, I didn't need a motion. I just information. They were just being kind by letting everybody know what was going on and when it was.
And the 36 Saloon has, Thunder Roads will be there May 3rd. They're asking for a road closure between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. from 36 to York on Jefferson.
Make a motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
That's Saturday too, I would assume.
Probably is. Everybody knew that Brad Bumgarner's resigning or retiring, so just wanted to kind of put that out there. So we've got some public here.
There's an open house that they're doing for him. I can't remember what their date was. It's in there later though.
8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 36 to York.
I have the date
That might be a
somewhere.
different letter.
Yeah, they are doing an open house for that. I think it's in June.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's June 6th, at 3 o'clock. Or I think it's maybe from 1 to 3, but I put it on my calendar for June 6th at 3 is Brad's open house. I believe it's at the Community Foundation building. Sometimes I know things.
Parke.
Okay.
Did you want to bring this? I forgot about it.
Which one was that?
That's the projects east of town
Oh,
in Wilmot.
we didn't talk about that last time? Go ahead, you talk about it. INPA data.
Yeah, this is, kind of missed over this. This is for State Road 36, rebuild the phase out there. INPA, we had our meeting last time, INPA said that the cost would be covered under the money we've already paid them, so there's no extra costs out of our pocket.
They're gonna split it up over 2 years. It's about close to $500,000 project. We're gonna split it over 2 years. It'll be covered under our annual maintenance contract, so that's a good deal there.
It was that, and then we had Maple Drive too.
Yeah, on Maple Drive, that's well, you can tell about it, you know more than I do.
Yeah, then Maple Drive over there too, we have a few poles, I don't know exactly how many.
I think there was 8. Were there 8?
9 new poles
Wow.
to replace them and rebuild that back there. And that would be, my understanding, there'll be no extra cost on that one either, I believe.
There's some nice upgrades in our electric grid.
They say we just need to go ahead and get the approval.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you, sorry about that.
All right, well, like I started to say, we've got some public here. Anybody have a comment that something they want to get off their chest? I know you do.
I'm good, I'm not gonna leave it alone.
Okay,
I got all the water on my basement this time, it's very good,
thank you.
very easy.
Anybody else?
Well, yeah, speaking of water, we had a lot of issues around town with our water. Just, Kevin wasn't the only.
Yeah, I'm from Rockville Town Tobacco, and we had a water leakage out there. Yeah, I think it was during the month of December. And it's regarding the invoice amount that I have. It's a pending invoice amount, $5,000. Yeah, $5,000, and we got to know about it when we got a call from the town of Rockville. And the day that I got to know about the water leakage which was underground. Well, we had that few months before earlier too, and we fixed it, and we have another one right after 2 months, I think. And now my thing is like it's $5,000, and we're just a local small business out there, and paying that, it would be really tough on us right now with the situation that we are in. The business that we have is just a small vape shop, and the sales are okay, but it just like for whatever we make it all goes out to the employees and stuff, and our stuff that we get every week.
Brandy, what you can educate us?
I apologize that I wasn't aware that you were gonna be here at the meeting, but it sounds
Oh, really?
like.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I told her that I'll be attending April 7th.
Oh, okay.
I had a talk with Karen about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But it sounds like we probably just need to get the information together, the totals. I was aware that you did have one water leak, I believe. of
Yeah,
some
we
sort,
have
but I'm
that,
just maybe
yeah.
not informed with the second one.
October.
Okay. I think if you don't mind, can we take the next couple of weeks for our next meeting? I'll get with
Oh, yeah,
Karen, we'll
sure.
work on details.
Yeah, sure.
Just because of the way our ordinance states that you're really only eligible for 1 week, justifiably per year.
Yeah.
But depending on when the time frame was, and as long as there was no negligence in making repairs.
Yeah,
then-
I just fixed it the same day that I was told.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah.
hire somebody to fix it?
Yes,
Can you bring us a copy of that?
I do have it. I think I have even the.
And is the new one hired to fix too, or is it?
It's the same guy.
Okay, yeah, if you can just bring us something from him,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would be
sure.
helpful too.
I think I
Sorry
did
to
have a
interject.
copy of the receipt, like the amount that we paid to fix it. I did get the copy here.
Do you remember when the first one was? By
It
chance?
should be around September, October.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when was the second one then?
It was December.
Okay, so I'm looking at both of the end of
Almost
the
the
year.
end of December. I do have pictures. And
Okay, I can probably find your receipt, if you have both of them, that'd be great.
Oh,
But I
well-
can probably find your first one within our adjustments from last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I apologize. I didn't
That's
know about
okay.
that. I just.
Yeah, and then if you can just maybe call me, or I'll get with Karen and see if she has some contact information for you.
Yeah, sure. Or I can just drop it tomorrow and then hand you guys the receipt that I have.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Could I just mention that the last day to order bricks for the memorial is gonna be April 21st. So I know I've got a lot of orders that have already been placed, and people have been asking me when we're gonna be doing that. So once we get the order placed, then I will know what that lead time looks like, and then I can let Doug know, and we'll try to work out something about when they're delivered, and then we can try to do that replacement. Some people have reached out, wanting to know if we can put it in a certain spot, and I said if they could be down there at that
Yeah,
time and kind of help out locating that it wouldn't
Yes,
be a problem.
when we go to install them, anybody that wants them in a certain place should be there.
Yeah.
That way we can.
I had a couple people there just gonna check back with me later. I said we may be looking at June even, depending on the lead time of the orders. But, and Jessica's working on something for the paper as well, just a separate advertisement, just stating that last day will be April 21st.
All right. Okay.
David, so one comment. Cemetery cleanup occurred on April 1st. I can count on these two fingers on the complaints we got. Place looks great. Mark and the crew jumped on it, and you drove by there right now, that's the storm this week, like that. They did a great job, and I think Karen got the same complaint I got. And other than that, that's it. Great job.
Good deal. Well,
I'll make the motion to adjourn. Second.
all in favor?
Cancel 2020 Double Beach Festival.
Today's the end of an era.